Hello children, this video class is an initiative of Shivjyoti Educational Group. I am Shravya Vyas and I gladly welcome you all to my social science class. Today we shall be doing chapter 11 means of communication. So before I start with this chapter, I want all of you to open your textbook page number 66 and follow this along with me. So in today's chapter we shall be doing the meaning of communication and the different means of communication. So what do you understand by means? Means actually means method of doing something or a way of doing something, and communication is exchange of information or messages between the sender and the receiver. So, means of communication actually means the different methods of communication. So, let us start with the explanation. We all like to keep in touch with our friends and relatives by meeting them as often as possible. But it is not always possible to visit them. That is, if you are living close by or nearby, you can easily meet your friends and relatives. That is, while you are living in Kota city, you can easily meet your friends and relatives who are also living in Kota city. But let us say they are living in faraway cities or faraway countries. Then how will you communicate with them? So this chapter deals with how you communicate with people who live far away from you in another city or a state or a country. So how do we communicate with them? We can write letters, make phone calls or send emails. So these are the different ways of communicating with people whom we cannot meet often. Sending and receiving information or messages is called communication. So what is communication? Sending and receiving messages. Okay? So that is, here you have a sender. Sender is the one who sends messages, and what does he send? He sends either information or he sends messages. And to whom does he send? He sends it to the receiver. So this process of sending and receiving messages or information is called communication. Now let us talk about the different means of communication. What are the different means or methods of communication? One is your postal system. Two is through telephone. Three is your mass communication. Four is your internet and email. Fifth is satellites, and sixth is your smartphones and e-readers. So what are the different means of communication that we will be covering in this chapter? One is your postal system, 2 telephone, 3 mass communication or mass media, 4 internet and email, 5th satellites, and 6th is your smartphones and e-readers. Now let us come to how communication had taken place in the olden days, that is communication or messages sent in olden days. Messages sent in olden days. How were messages sent in olden days? First, they used to use pigeons to send messages from one place to another. You must have seen in movies how they used to put a chit in the feet of the pigeon and they used to make them fly away to carry the chit to another place. So, earlier they used to use pigeons and people worked as messengers. So, messengers are people who used to go from one place to another carrying messages or information to another place. So, they usually used to go by walk or they used to travel on animals like horses. Okay. So, these are the different ways of how messages were sent in olden days. But what was the problem of these methods? They were very slow. Okay. They were very slow and not reliable. That is, they could not be trusted completely. There were a lot of drawbacks. So, these were the drawbacks in the olden methods. But thankfully for us, because of today's advancement in technology, we have fast methods and more reliable methods to communicate with each other. So, these are the different means or methods of communicating with each other. So, let us start with postal system. Postal system, one of the cheapest and popular means of communication is a letter. So, what all is used in postal system? We use stamps, inland letters, postcards and stamped envelopes to communicate through letters. Okay. So, all these things are available in the post office. So, once we go to the post office, you can send letters and you can send by putting the correct address, you can send it to different places, cities or even different countries. Letters can be sent by writing messages on an inland letter, a postcard or even a sheet of paper and putting it in a stamped envelope. So, this is how an inland letter looks like. So, this is your stamp here, you write to address here, your pin code and you write your from address and pin code here. Okay. And behind this page you write the content of your letter to whomsoever you want. This is your postcard. Again, this is your stamp. Here you will write your to address and the pin code, and behind this you write the content of an urgent message or whatever message you want to pass. I also have an envelope with me. Okay. What I do is, I wrote my letter in a sheet of paper, I folded it, I put it in the envelope. Okay. And then what do? I write to address here and I write from address here, and this is where I put my stamp. Now you will get a question, what is a stamp? So, a stamp is a piece of paper that you stick on to a letter or a package to show that you have paid for it to be posted. First, what do? You write a letter, put it in an envelope, okay, and then you put the letter in the post box. Okay. from the post box, the postman collects all the letters together. He collects all the letters together and takes it to his post office. And from this post office, it will be distributed to various cities or countries to which the letter is supposed to go. So, this is how it goes. First you put your letter in the post box, then the postman collects your letter, then he takes it to the post office, and from the post office it is taken to various parts through various means of transport, like it can be taken through air or through water transport or through rail or through road transport. There is also a point called PIN. What does PIN stand for? PIN stands for Postal Index Number. For example, a particular area has a particular PIN code. For example, Mahavir Nagar has the PIN code 324005. Similarly, Srinathpuram has the PIN code 324010, and PIN code is very important because it is the deciding factor as to which place the letter or the package will go to. And other than letters, urgent letters or parcels can be sent to any city of our country through speed post or by courier. So, if you want to send a letter or package very urgently, or you can send it through speed post or by courier, and the items will reach the person in 1 or 2 days instead of 7 or 10 days. Now, let us come to telephone. The fastest means of communication is the telephone. Why is it the fastest? The minute you telephone a person, within few seconds the receiver is taking the call. Your message is immediately passed and the person also receives the message immediately. So, the time taken to complete the communication is very small. So, hence it is the fastest means of communication. On the telephone, we can easily talk to a friend or relative in our own city or in another city or even in another country. So, through telephones you can speak to person in any part of the world. Like if it is same city also you can telephone, if it is another city also you can telephone, or even if it is another country you can still contact them through telephone. Written messages can be sent instantly through a fax machine. This is a fax machine. It is connected to a telephone line and the message that you write can be scanned through this and it can be sent to the other end. Okay. So, written messages also can be sent through fax machine. Mobile or cellular phones are wireless, like your telephone is connected with a wire. Even if it is a cordless phone, there is a certain distance limit. But in case of mobile, it is completely wireless and there is no distance limit in mobile or cellular phones. Hence, they can be carried along wherever we go. And we can also send instant messages or SMS, that is short message service, through our mobile phones. Mass communication. Mass communication is also called mass media. So, what is mass communication or mass media? Communication with a large number of people at the same time is mass communication. That is, at the same time you are communicating with a huge crowd of people or a number of people, large number of people, that is mass communication. So, can you think of examples of mass communication? You have newspapers, magazines, radio and television, these are all examples of mass communication. A newspaper gives us detailed news of events taking place in our country as well as in the world. So, whatever information you need, whatever is happening in your city or your country or in any part of the world, you get information from the newspaper. And while many people, in each and every house, you find people getting information through newspaper. Okay. Radio and television also provide latest information on important events. So, radio and television, they are not only used for getting information, they are also used for entertainment. What is entertainment? If you want to see a song or listening to song, you can listen to music, you can watch movies, you can hear interviews of celebrities. So, these are all part of entertainment. And when it comes to information, whatever news you want to know, whatever information you want to know about what's happening around you, that also you can get from radio and television. So, hence we can say they are used for both entertainment as well as information purposes. And among all the mass communication or mass media, television is most popular. Okay. Now, let us come to satellites. What are satellites? Satellites are, this is a satellite. Okay. These are electronic devices that are placed high above the earth. Earth से बहुत ऊपर, high above the earth, and these are useful in sending telephone messages, radio and TV programs around the world instantly. For example, you must have seen live cricket match or football match. Have you wondered how you are able to see a live program? That is because of satellites. These satellites, they help us in seeing all the live programs and sending instant messages very fast. Now, let us come to internet and email. Computers and the internet have made communication faster and more efficient. How has it become fast? Earlier we used to send through letters. How many days does it take? It will take at least 3 to 7 days to reach a place. But because of computers and internet, we are able to instantly send emails and messages. So, because of that, it has become, communication has become really fast and efficient. If you have a computer, you can log on to the internet and send emails or electronic mails instantly. And you can send messages from one computer to another on the internet. You can also get information about the weather, latest happenings around the world, and anything you want to know through the internet. So, how has all this contributed? For example, you have search engines like Google and Yahoo, which helps you in getting instant information, whether it be your studies, whether it be your movies, whether it be your news or anything on this earth. You can even learn how to draw with the help of search engine machines. Okay? So, because of all this, it has contributed to quick learning and to quick obtaining of information. Now, let us come to smartphones and e-readers. Each day, newer and better machines that help communication are coming out. Some of these are the smartphone and the e-book reader. So, every few months you can hear the latest version of Apple mobile has been launched, or Samsung mobile has launched, or iPad has been launched. So these are all your smart book and your e-book reader. ठीक है? Smart book, smartphone, it is a combination of a phone and a computer. You can use it to call and to message, and at the same time you can use it as a computer to obtain information or in sending emails. Okay? An e-book reader is called an e-reader, can be used for downloading and reading digital books and periodicals. In earlier days, what used to happen, let's say you went to your grandma's place, you went to your grandparents' place, and there you are also supposed to study. So you had to carry a lot of luggage, that is a lot of books went along with you. But because of e-book reader, all the books are downloaded in a small e-book reader, and because of that it has become very convenient to move from one place to another and without carrying much luggage. So e-book reader has also contributed a lot, and at the same time we used to spend lots of money on buying books. With a small fraction of amount, you can download an e-book and you can continue with your studies or reading or whatever you want to do. So all these latest means of communication have brought the world closer and helped to communicate people better. So this concludes our chapter. We shall now move to the bookwork and copywork. Now I want you to open your textbook page 70, and then we shall proceed with the bookwork. Keep a pencil with you and keep marking along with me. Now let us come to exercise A. Write T for true and F for false sentences. Question 1. Long ago, trained pigeons delivered letters. You already know it is true, so write T beside it. Question 2. Letters reach faster than emails. That is not true, so write F here, false. Question 3. Television is the most popular means of mass communication in our country. It is a true statement, so write T. Question 4. A fax machine is not connected to a telephone line, which is a false statement. Fax machine is connected to a telephone line, so write F for false. Question 5. India has the largest postal service in Asia. It is a true statement. The Indian postal system is the largest in the world. Exercise B. Correct these jumble words to get communication words. The first word is jumble, and which word you get out of it? It is newspaper, and the spelling is NEWSPAPER. And the second word is satellite, and the spelling is SATELLITE. And the third word is television, and the spelling is TELEVISION, and the fourth word is email. So E-MAIL. Okay. Exercise C. Arrange these in increasing order of time taken for messages to be delivered. So what will you write first? The means of communication that takes least time to the means of communication that takes longest time to complete. Okay. So since telephone, what all do you have? Telephone, postcard, email, courier mail. Okay. So which is the fastest means of communication? It is telephone, because it takes the least time to complete message to be delivered. And which is the second here? It is email. So we will put 2 in email, and we will put 3 in courier mail, and then 4 in postcard. Now let us come to multiple choice questions, which is also in page 70. Question 1. Urgent written messages can be sent through A. Pigeons, B. Speed post, and C. Magazines. The correct option is B. Speed post. Second question. The fastest means of communication is the A. Speed post, B. Newspaper, C. Telephone, and the correct option is C. Telephone. Question 3. We can send a written document instantly through A. Fax machine, B. Courier, C. Newspaper, and the correct answer is fax machine. Question 4. We can see live telecast of events because of A. computers, B. satellites, and C. mobile phones. Like I discussed before, we are able to see live telecast of sports events and other events because of satellites. Now let us come to the copy work. We shall now start with copy work of chapter 11, means of communication. I want you to open your copy, okay, write very neatly chapter 11 at the top. Then in the second line, I want you to write means of communication, write very neatly and beautifully, okay. Then write define in the next line. So before you do this, first draw a red margin here, underline chapter 11 in red, underline means of communication in red, and then underline define also in red. Now write the first question, satellite. I want this also to be underlined in red. What is a satellite? An electronic device sent into space to collect information. Leave a line after that and come to the second question. Now come to the second question, internet. Underline this also in red. And what is an internet? A communications network that links computers all over the world. Okay. Now let us come to answer the following questions. Question 1. What is the meaning of communication? Right answer here. Sending and receiving messages is called communication. Like I mentioned before, don't forget the red margin and also draw a red line after every answer. Leave a line and let us come to question 2. How were messages sent in the olden days? Answer, messages were sent through pigeons in the olden days. So after finishing the answer, draw a red line, leave a line and come to question 3. What is the advantage of a telephone? Answer, a telephone helps us to talk to anyone in any part of the world. We finished this answer. Again, draw a red line, leave a line and come to question 4. What has made communicating through computers possible? Answer, the internet has made communicating through computers possible. Question 5. Now you finish this question, draw a red line, leave a line and come to question 5. Mention a few modern means of communication. Answer, computer, mobile phone, email and smartphones are the modern means of communication, full stop. You finished all the questions. Again, draw a red line and this concludes our chapter 11, means of communication. I hope you enjoyed the class and I hope you have a great time studying this chapter. Thank you. Bye.